everyone, welcome back to the channel. So the topic today is going to be split into two videos. The first half is going to be about actually building your LinkedIn profile, and the second half is going to be about how to network on LinkedIn. So we're going to be focusing on that first part today, and the second part will come out at some point in the near future. So how to build your LinkedIn profile. Now, before I did this video, I actually thought my LinkedIn profile was semi-decent, but what I wanted to do before this video was actually get my own profile reviewed, if that makes sense, because I don't want to provide advice on how to build your LinkedIn profile when my profile isn't even all that. So I think one thing I just want to put out there in terms of a disclaimer is, albeit I'm not a kind of recruiter, I'm not an expert when it comes to LinkedIn, I have actually employed reviews of my LinkedIn profile, and there's one review in particular that I found really useful that we'll be using in this video, and they provided tips that have been really helpful when I was wanting to improve my LinkedIn profile. So in terms of this video, what we're going to talk about first and foremost is why it's important to have a profile that's up to date, that looks professional. Then I'm going to show you what my LinkedIn profile looked like before it got reviewed and the amends that I made to the profile and how it looks like after, and then we're going to get it reviewed again and see whether my score changes. And then hopefully at the end you'll be able to gain some tips about how to improve your LinkedIn profile as well. Right, let's start off with why it's important to have a good profile on LinkedIn. So a lot of the time people post on LinkedIn about their achievements, if they've got any good grades, if they've gotten onto a vacation scheme, that kind of thing. So those are obviously really impressive achievements. However, when people look at those posts and they think, oh, let me see the person behind that post, and they click on your profile, if that isn't impressive, then they're less likely to click on that connection button to add you as a request. And what I mean by impressive is perhaps there may be information that's incomplete. You may not have a professional photo. I think photos actually are one of the most important parts on LinkedIn, if I'm really honest with you, because that's the kind of first impression that people get of you. If your profile isn't looking impressive or professional, then like I said, that person's less likely to click on that connection request button. If they don't click on that button, they won't keep updated with the posts that you make in the future, and also they won't reach out to message you, or you won't reach out to message them because you won't see them on your profile. So I guess that's why it's really important, alongside just posting on LinkedIn and putting yourself out there, I think it's equally as important to make sure your profile is up to date as well. Now, before I started my training contract, I was actually really looking to improve my LinkedIn profile because I knew there were gaps in it. I knew I needed to improve it. So one thing I'll show you, this is kind of like the before of my LinkedIn profile at the moment. So I've currently updated my LinkedIn profile picture. I feel like that's a pretty professional photo. I'm smiling in it. The background's all clear, so I'm pretty happy with that. I've also updated the header photo, so changed it from that LinkedIn default picture that they give and changed it into my own header. And I think the reason why I did that, I think it just kind of low-key, from an aesthetic perspective, it kind of matches my LinkedIn profile picture in terms of the similar kind of colors. So I don't know why, I think that's the main reason why I put that there. Of course, some people, for example, have photos of them with their team, for example, because it kind of, it could display team working skills, it could display that they're very people skills, they care about their colleagues. So that's what I would say first and foremost. I've always heard that updating your header picture in your LinkedIn profile is really important. Now, the next thing for my headline that I did for my profile was I included everything that I get up to. So I'm a trainee solicitor, I YouTube, I'm a vlogger, I'm a mentor as well. And my mentoring is more of an informal thing, but you know, a lot of people do consider me as their mentor, so I do help that out with that kind of aspect as well. And then my about me section, I massively changed up my about me section because I wasn't happy with it before. Before, you know, LinkedIn give you their kind of default about me section that you can write, so it just looked really generalized, and I just wanted something that was more personal to me. So this is what I had for my about me section. A little bit of a note here, someone actually copied my about me section word for word for their profile, and I was informed of it, and I found out, and I had to send them that really awkward message of, can you not do that? And they had to delete it and stuff. So don't ever put me in that position where I'm having to message you, so please do not copy this word for word. Of course, take inspiration from it if you wish, but don't feel like you have to copy all of this, because like I'm saying, I'm not an expert. This is something that's very personal to me. Someone may look at that about me section and think that's I don't like that at all. Then I have my featured posts. I feel like I need to update these, if I'm honest with you, because there have been some posts that I've done before this that feel like show me off quite well. Your featured section on your LinkedIn profile is where, say if you do any posts that you personally resonate with, or say if they got a lot of engagement, you can feature them at the top of your profile. I tended to use this section about kind of my main achievements, and also showing the posts that have really kind of gone, like they've been really inspirational for people as well. So that's the kind of image I want to put off on my profile as well. Then we have my experiences, and essentially I feel like I could do more here, if I'm honest with you, just by looking at the before section now. I feel like this is actually something that I just copied from my CV. You know, I maybe could have put a lot more emphasis into using a lot more action words here. So I think that's something that the review will definitely pick up on as something that needs improving. And my education section as well. So I've not labeled the school that I went to for secondary school, mainly just for like kind of privacy reasons, if I'm honest with you. So I've put in University of Law, I put Uni of Bristol, and I've put some of my grades in as well. And I've got my licenses and certifications as well, and that's pretty much my profile. Right, so now you've looked at my profile and how it looked like before. I think it was a semi-decent profile, if I'm really honest with you. So what I wanted to do was try and find out how I could improve my profile. So first thing I did was actually go on the profiles of people that I thought were like successful. So I went on Bill Gates's LinkedIn page, I went on Amal Clooney, I went on the CEO of Goldman Sachs, what's his name? David Solomon. I went on their LinkedIn pages and they were good, but I just felt like they were just really they just didn't have that much detail in them. But then I kind of realized that they're famous and they don't need really expansive LinkedIn profiles, because everyone knows who they are already and everyone knows of their achievements. So that kind of didn't provide as much insight as I thought I would have got initially. And I was way too lazy to put my profile on privacy mode so I could stalk partners in the firms that I've worked in, or, you know, firms that I admire. So I just decided, you know what, I'm actually going to try and see if I can get my LinkedIn profile reviewed. So I came across this website called resumeworded.com, and I put my profile in for a review. So what you need to do here is you download a PDF version of your LinkedIn profile. It's very easy to do, and then once you've got that PDF version, you upload it onto this website. It's AI powered, so it just kind of skims through your profile and notices key things that need improving here and there. Now, I thought my LinkedIn profile was all right, because obviously I'd just done this whole revamp of it. I'd, you know, included a new and improved about me section, which I am low-key quite proud of. So I thought it would do okay, but then the results came and it was 68 out of 100. So when we look through this here, it was my headline and my education section was perfectly okay. So those didn't need any form of improvement, but it was the summary section, my experiences and other that needed a bit more work. And apparently the estimated time that I need to improve my score is 24 minutes. So let's get to it now, and I will try and improve my LinkedIn profile now while I am on camera and while I'm filming for you guys. And then we can do the review again and see whether there's been any improvements. So as you can see here, we're on the main dashboard page with my score of being 68%. Now let's work on that first thing of improving my work experience section. So it says here, we recommend listing at least 3 work experiences on your LinkedIn profile. You've listed 20, which is great. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the one where I've written I'm a trainee solicitor, that needs a bit more work. Well, honestly, like, I don't know what else to include that. I've only just started, if I'm honest with you. Oh, my job title's vague. I think I know how to improve that. I know maybe they just want my like kind of seat as well. So trainee solicitor, I do get where they're coming from in terms of maybe it's being a bit vague. There's some things here that are a bit locked as well. Obviously, I'm using the free version of the website. So using keywords and stuff. Okay, maybe I could have added more of a description. Okay, let me do that. So let me go on my profile here. And I'm going to this experience section, trainee solicitor, construction, disputes. So that kind of gives an idea about my first seat and where I am. Now let me Yeah, I'll leave my first C as construction dispute, so that kind of provides an idea. I mean, I did recently pass the professional skills course with 71%, so maybe I could mention that here. And then what else have I done? I mean, I've drafted letters and I've drafted correspondence and I've prepared research notes, to be fair. For example, alongside just saying I prepared research notes, I want to kind of talk about what those research notes were about. So something like prepared research notes on various topics within construction law, for example, about emerging case law or issues arising in tort contract law. Drafted correspondence to various parties. What else have I done? It's so difficult to write this because I literally haven't done that much yet. I probably will go back to this and change parts because at the moment I'm not happy with this at the moment because it does sound very vague, and when I've gotten a lot more experience in my seat, I'm definitely going to go back and change this. But for the sake of today's review, I hope it just picks up as, you know, me providing a bit more detail for this section as well. Right, let's try and see if I can improve any of these other sections. So experience. So next job, vague job title. All of these job titles seem really vague. A vlogger, like, doesn't that just say what it is on the tin? That's the problem with AI stuff as well. I'm just gonna put content creator here. I'm gonna keep it as that. Now the next job, let's see, content creator as well. Job titles, mentor for aspiring solicitors. Let's go back to the summary page. So my summary needs a bit of a fix as well, so that's my about me section. Too many special characters used, so symbols, emojis. Okay, I guess I do see where they're coming from with that, because if you look at these squares on my LinkedIn profile, they are emojis. So let me, just for the sake of the school, because I do like the squares being there, if I'm honest with you, let me just change this so there's kind of, so maybe it picks up as getting a better score because I've put in actual kind of bullet points rather than these emojis, because I think that's what's being picked up as, you know, me just using a lot of emojis and stuff. So that's all changed now, so maybe that kind of improves that section. A lot of this is locked and you need an upgrade for it, which is really annoying. Apparently my summary is the right length, so LinkedIn profiles usually have summaries between 200 to 300 words long, so pretty happy with that. Now let's look at keywords. So unsure what keywords, enter your job title here. So trainee solicitor. Oh well, what do you know? Let's write lawyer. Commercial lawyer, let's do that. Corporate law, intellectual property, so those are the key ones apparently that come up. So if I could maybe incorporate those into, I think what I need, instead of an AI review, I've literally just clocked this now halfway through the video, but instead of like an AI one, maybe a proper kind of if there's anything out there in terms of like a legal kind of LinkedIn profile reviewer, then I'll definitely let you guys know. Maybe I can add it into my endorsements, but I don't want to talk about kind of, I've got intellectual property already written. Where have I got that? I've done it for my LPC. That's the most I've done for intellectual property. Legal writing, I could write that here. So practiced my legal writing by drafting correspondence to various parties. Let's go back to the score. What's other? Use a custom LinkedIn profile URL. Oh, I don't know you can make that. Let's make a custom URL. Edit profile and URL on the right hand. Oh, cool. I think I'll just keep it at that. Simranjeet. And okay, cool. So I've created a custom URL now. No honors and awards section. Well, that's because I've not received any awards in my life. So can't fill that in, can I? I mean, I did get like an attendance award at school because there was a day in, like, there was 1 year in school where I didn't miss a single day of school. Right, let's rescore this and see whether there's been any improvement. I'm scared, you know. What if this is like worse? What if I've done worse? I can't. I'm literally just watching the screen just go. Like, hurry up, man. 84%. 84%, let's go. I'm happy with that, you know? I'm good. So my summary section still needs work apparently. Yeah, well, you won't tell me what to improve on because the rest of your website's like done out here, you know what I'm saying? So, right, so if you want to include a line, so this is for someone who's looking for job opportunities, a line that says interested in where blah, blah, blah tells recruiters that you want to be contacted for that kind of thing. So at the moment, I'm not looking for a job, but in the future, say if I was looking, I don't know, for a role elsewhere as another kind of like lawyer or whatever, interested in, say if I do qualify in construction disputes and I say interested in construction disputes vacancies, then that can be kind of like one of the first lines in my summary if I was interested in that element. Let's go back to the score. So work experience, some of it needs fixing as well. Oh, they liked the fact that I put construction disputes in the header, so that's quite good. I'm glad to see that there's some improvement there. Even vlogger, content creator. So I'm happy that at least the kind of like the main three elements I've kind of improved on those. Data protection paralegal, I don't know how to improve that. Unless I went in and wrote paralegal and then put data protection. Let me do that for all of these just for the sake of consistency. I could put vacation scheme / internship because some people don't know what a vacation scheme is when it's outside of law. And the thing is, one thing that's really important is making sure that, I think it's really important to make sure that your profile is also understandable by people who don't do law, because those could be kind of potential clients. Let's see if this works. Vacation scheme / internship. Legal advisor. This is what it volunteer. Legal advisor. I think that should be okay. Let's do it again now and see whether it improves just by, you know, just give me 86% or something. I'll be happy with that. Let's rescore it and see. So while we're waiting for this to now review my profile again, let's have a little chat. So, you know, how you doing? How you doing? You know, like, the weather's lovely recently. It's been good weather. Oh, it's increased by 1%. Okay, you know what, I'll take that. I will take that. I'll take that 1%, 85%. I don't know still what's wrong with my summary section. I think it may be because I've not included things like keywords, which I think is kind of true. Maybe in terms of how would people describe me, I could put some more kind of legally focused terms in there, like good communicator or great at legal writing, but that's not how people would describe me. So I'll have a little think about that section as well. But 85% with a LinkedIn profile review via artificial intelligence, seems pretty okay. I'm happy with that. I'll go with that. And I do think, you know, now when I look at my profile, I do see there's more meat to the bones, and I've increased my profile by, what's 85 minus 68? It's 17%. Let me Google that. 85 minus 68. See, I taught 17. I increased it by 17%, and that's fantastic. So yeah, maybe I'll do more of these free reviews in the future, like in my own time. But hopefully this video has given you some tips about how to lay out your LinkedIn profile. Maybe you can take some inspiration from my profile, from what the AI reviewer was saying. And yeah, the next video, what we're going to talk about is how I actually network on LinkedIn, and how it's helped me in gaining opportunities and connections, and, you know, just putting myself out there professionally. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was honestly a lot more kind of like less structured than my other videos, but hopefully you've learned something. If not, I definitely have, so, you know, who cares about y'all? But I'm joking. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.